Hey, what's up today? We're here at Jared Tuttle's studio. We're going to check out some of his art and see what's going on. He did a bunch of work for us this year. Let's go see what's going on up in his studio. Awesome.
Hey, what's up, man?
Welcome. Hey, we're here with Jared Tuttle. He did some art for us on 2 of our boards this year, and we're just connecting here in the studio. Thanks for having us, Jared.
Yeah, guys, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. Let's hear a little bit about your story. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Waconia, Minnesota. Went to high school there. I was actually born in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, interesting.
But we moved right away up to Minnesota. So,
What brought you to Minnesota? What brought the parents to Minnesota?
well, my dad's from here.
Okay.
From Minnesota. And my mom was from New Mexico. So.
Nice. Returning to the roots.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. And when did you first start being interested in art? And
Kind of right away, like in high school and even middle school, my mom kind of pushed me into it. She like kind of caught on that I maybe had some sort of talent. So she pushed me and I kind of latched onto it. Like it clearly was something that I excelled at as opposed to some other things. So even in high school, I was taking like the more advanced art classes, just trying to learn as much as I could and see if this was for me.
And then how did that pathway then take you to MCAD, and what was that process like, or how did you end up there?
At a certain point, I had felt like I just had this big desire to be a tattoo artist. I had seen tattoos, and I'm like, that's the kind of shit that I like. I like that kind of edgy work. And I told that to my parents, and they're like, okay, well, you still have to go to school. So I was like, well, if I have to go to school, then it's going to be art, right? And they wanted me to do graphic design because, like, that's a good, it's a safe option.
They figured you could get checks for being a graphic designer.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll do that. So I applied, went to MCAD, and while I was there, I was like, man, I don't want to be spending all this time on a plan B. So I shifted my focus and started to think about illustration as my degree. So then I really got into illustration and, kind of took off from there.
Awesome. And then subsequently after leaving MCAD, what was like some of the first breakthrough pieces? Like, I mean, you kind of followed up on the tattoo stuff, right?
Yeah. So like right after I graduated, I went and got an apprenticeship at Wingnut Tattoo in Anoka, and I was there for about 6 months before I ended up realizing that I just was more excited about the freelance opportunities that were coming my way because of the portfolio that I had built while I was at MCAD. A lot of the breakthrough pieces happened while I was at school there.
Okay.
And my teacher just kind of mentoring me and guiding me through these new mediums and playing around with digital programs. Like when I was in high school, I had never used Photoshop, Illustrator, any of those things. So
Interesting.
Going to MCAD really kind of opened that door for me of all the different types of mediums and things that you can explore. So so then I ended up, dropping out of my apprenticeship and just focusing on freelance illustration.
And then what was the first big breakthrough once you kind of like took that freelance route? I know you said you had a bunch at MCAD, but...
Right. Well, I worked part-time as a graphic designer at an architecture firm.
Oh, awesome.
For about 5 years. And that part-time job was like really key in being able to just gradually level off to be full-time freelance. But the project that really helped me make that jump was when someone from Disney hired me to work on a project for them, and that was for their consumer products division. I wasn't working on films or anything. But that project really was like, okay,
yeah, it's
time to make that jump.
Help make you.
Yeah, and I couldn't even fulfill the project if I was part-time. So it was kind of necessary.
Yeah, and that gave you that leap. Maybe tell me a little bit about the Gold Tiger graphic and what that means. And
that piece was something that I had made after actually that alligator one over there.
Okay.
I was trying to explore like really line work, and line work is such a big thing in tattoos. Like it's foundational. You need to have crisp line work, and it's something that I like doing in my illustration work prior to that at MCAD. So I just kind of honed in on that and really wanted to make work that was more like an isolated graphic that you could use commercially or on t-shirts, or as like a logo. Those are things I just, for some reason, was really drawn to. It's similar to tattoos in that like there's no background. Well, tattoos have backgrounds, but a lot of tattoos are like isolated graphics, right? And that's the kind of work that I wanted to be making. So I just made these as personal pieces, like more as aesthetic and style explorations of like, what does that look like for me? What are things that feel like me, and things that I would like to hang in my own studio that feel cool.
Awesome. And then how about the too much? We
Think too much, feel too little.
Yeah.
That was just a fun kind of sketch. Yeah, I saw that quote from Charlie Chaplin, and I just really connected with it.
Awesome.
So I decided to just make a little drawing and just for fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you letting us into your studio today.
Yeah.
It's great to catch up and connect.
Yeah.
And
it's been great to talk.
Yeah. Stoked. So yeah, you can check out Jared's art on two of the boards this year, the Gold Tiger and the Too Much. Those are available now. And thanks, Jared.
Yeah. Thanks, man.